Most people think they're being good cat owners, and most of them are wrong. Not in a cruel way, just in a clueless one. The truth is, a lot of the things we do every single day to show our cats we care, the things that feel loving to us, go completely over their heads. Some of them actually push cats away without owners ever realizing it. These 7 habits take almost no time at all. But when you make them part of your daily routine, something shifts. Your cat stops just tolerating you and starts actually choosing you. Let's get into the first one, which is the one that almost everyone gets backwards. The way you talk to your cat matters more than you think. Most people feel a little silly using that soft, squeaky, over-the-top voice they'd never let anyone hear in public. But a 2022 study from the University of Paris found something that should make you lean into it completely. Cats could tell their owner's voice apart from a stranger's voice, but only when the owner used that exaggerated, affectionate tone. In their normal speaking voice, owners got almost no reaction. The moment they switched to something warmer and higher, the cats turned their heads, perked up, and moved closer. Your cat is not just hearing you. They are recognizing you. And that recognition, that feeling of knowing who you are, only happens when your voice carries something genuine. So every time you walk past your cat, every time you catch them staring at you from across the room, say something. It doesn't matter what. What matters is how it sounds. Soft, slow, warm. That tone is the closest thing to a hug that your cat can actually understand. And wait until we get to number 7, because there is one specific place on your cat's body that takes all of this even further. Most people misread this completely when their cat does it. You have probably caught your cat staring at you and then slowly letting their eyes close. Easy to assume they're just tired. But that slow blink is not about sleep at all. It is one of the most deliberate things a cat can do, and it is aimed directly at you. A 2020 study from the University of Sussex had owners slow blink at their cats and found that cats were significantly more likely to slow blink back and then walk toward them. Even strangers got a response when they tried it, but the effect was strongest coming from someone the cat already knew. No food involved, no toys, no petting. 3 seconds of soft, deliberate eye contact followed by a slow closing of the eyes, and your cat reads it as safety, as warmth, as trust. The part most owners miss is that regular staring, the kind without a slow blink, reads to a cat as a threat. It is confrontational in their world. So every time you lock eyes with your cat and just stare, you might be sending exactly the wrong message without knowing it. Make the slow blink part of your morning, your evenings, your in-between moments. When your cat blinks back, that is not them being cute. That is them telling you they feel completely safe with you. A lot of cats look bored during playtime, and people think that is just their personality. It isn't. If your cat stares blankly at a toy you're dangling in front of them, that's not laziness. That is a cat who has been given absolutely nothing worth reacting to. Cats are built from the ground up to hunt. Their entire brain is wired around the sequence of stalking, chasing, pouncing, and catching. That full sequence is what makes play feel real to them. When you drag a toy back and forth in a straight line, you skip every single piece of that. The fix is to make the toy behave like something alive. Pull it away from your cat instead of toward them. Let it disappear behind a cushion and sit still for a second. Make it dart suddenly, then freeze. Watch for your cat's pupils to go wide and their body to drop low. That is the signal that something clicked. And here is the part that doesn't get talked about enough. A cat who gets a real, satisfying hunt every day becomes a noticeably calmer, more affectionate animal. You become the person who feeds the deepest part of their instincts, and cats remember that. 5 to 10 minutes is enough, but those minutes have to count. Move the toy like it's worth catching, and your cat will look at you like you're finally speaking their language. This one sounds too simple to be real, but it might be the most important thing on this list. Just being near your cat without doing anything is one of the most powerful ways to build a bond with them. Most owners only feel like something meaningful is happening when they're actively petting or playing. But when you sit down on the couch and your cat is across the room, your cat is watching. And the fact that you're there, close, not grabbing for them, not calling their name, not making anything happen, is communicating something enormous. In the wild, cats only rest near cats they trust without question. They don't show affection the way dogs do, with contact and physical closeness on demand. They share space. That shared space, that quiet nearness, is one of the deepest bonds they form. When you sit near your cat with zero expectations, you're telling them in the clearest possible language that you don't need anything from them. Just their presence is enough for you. If you do this daily, something starts to happen gradually. Your cat's distance from you gets smaller. They move to the same room, then the same piece of furniture, then right next to you. Not because you coaxed them, because they decided. And for a cat, that decision is everything. Before you touch your cat, stop and do this one thing first. Most people walk up to their cat and go straight into petting them, and it seems completely normal. But cats live inside their sense of smell in a way we don't have a good frame of reference for. Every single interaction your cat has with the world begins with their nose. When two cats who are bonded greet each other, they don't just dive into grooming. They touch noses first. That small exchange is a confirmation, a way of saying you're familiar, you're safe, you're one of mine. When you skip that step and go right for the head scratch, your cat's nervous system gets a small jolt every time. It is not painful, but it bypasses something important. Over time, cats who experience this repeatedly start to flinch slightly before contact, even from people they love. The fix is 2 seconds long. Every time you're about to pet your cat, extend one finger first, just a few inches from their nose, and wait. Let them sniff you. Let them decide you're who they think you are. When they push into your hand or rub the side of their face against your finger, that is your signal. That is them saying they're ready. You become, in your cat's mind, someone who always checks in first. And cats hold on to that. There is something almost irresistible about a sleeping cat. That little curled up shape, that total peace, and something in your brain says go pick that up right now. But what feels like affection to you lands very differently on the other end. Cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day, and that is not about being lazy. Sleep is how they repair, how they process stress, how they keep their entire system functioning. Deep sleep is when they are the most vulnerable they ever get. Their muscles go loose, their guard drops completely, and they chose that specific spot because they felt safe enough to let everything go. When you reach in and lift them without warning, their heart rate spikes. Their claws may come out. Even if they settle into your arms a minute later, something got registered in their brain about that place. It wasn't as safe as they thought. If you do this regularly, you will start to notice your cat sleeping in places you can't easily reach. Under the bed, up on high shelves, tucked behind things. They are not being distant. They are protecting their rest from the one person who keeps interrupting it. The habit to build instead is the simplest one on this list. When your cat is asleep, walk past them. Let that peace stay unbroken. That restraint is one of the quietest, most real ways you can show your cat that you actually care. Back in the first section, there was a mention of one spot on your cat's body that goes deeper than anything else. Here it is. When cats who are completely bonded with each other groom one another, something researchers call allogrooming, they don't work just anywhere on the body. Almost all of it happens in one specific zone, the base of the skull, right between and just behind the ears. The reason is simple. That is the one place a cat cannot reach on their own. The only way they ever feel touched there is from someone they trust completely. That makes it a different category of contact. The belly feels pleasant. The chin gets a reaction, but the area between and behind the ears belongs to family. When another cat grooms that spot, both animals release oxytocin, not just the one being touched, both of them. It creates a chemical bond. It says we belong to each other. You can create that same response. Every day, take a few seconds and use your fingertips to gently stroke that spot on your cat's head, slow and repetitive, with light pressure, nothing more than what another cat's tongue would feel like. Watch your cat's body while you do it. Their eyes will close, their muscles will soften, and their purr will shift into something lower and steadier than what you normally hear. That is not just a cat feeling comfortable. That is your cat's brain doing what it does with family.